My best friend's mom tried to kiss me while drunk, and I said, "I want to kiss you when you're sober." The night that changed my life forever began with a knock on a door and ended with a sentence I never expected to say. Standing on that quiet porch, watching my best friend's mother struggle to keep her balance, I realized that some moments test not just your heart but your character. What happened next would force me to choose between temptation and respect, between what I wanted in the moment and what I hoped could someday become something real. Before we begin, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and treating people with respect even when it's difficult, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories. I was 24 years old when it happened. My best friend Ethan and I had been inseparable since childhood. We played on the same baseball team, survived high school together, and remained close even after college. His family felt like my family. His mother, Claire, had always been one of the kindest people I knew. She was the woman who made extra sandwiches when I came over after school and always remembered my birthday when everyone else forgot. A few years earlier, Claire's husband had passed away after a long illness. The loss shattered her. Even though she tried to stay strong for Ethan, everyone could see the sadness hiding behind her smile. She kept moving forward, but something inside her seemed permanently wounded. One rainy evening, Ethan called me from another state where he had recently moved for work. He sounded worried. His mother had stopped answering her phone, and he knew she had been having a difficult week because it was close to the anniversary of his father's death. He asked if I could stop by her house and check on her. Without hesitation, I drove over. The house looked different that night. The porch light was on, but the warmth that usually filled the place felt absent. When Claire opened the door, I immediately noticed she had been drinking. Her eyes were glossy, and her words came out slower than usual. The living room was scattered with old photographs. Pictures of family vacations, birthday parties, and happier times covered the coffee table. It was obvious she had spent the evening reliving memories that were too painful to carry alone. For nearly an hour, I sat beside her and listened. She talked about loneliness, about grief, and about how strange life felt after losing the person she thought she would grow old with. I didn't offer solutions because there weren't any. Sometimes people don't need answers. Sometimes they simply need someone willing to stay. As the evening grew later, her emotions became harder to control. Tears filled her eyes. She thanked me repeatedly for coming. Then something happened that neither of us expected. She stepped closer. For a brief moment, the room became completely silent. Her sadness, loneliness, and confusion seemed to collide all at once. She leaned toward me as though she wanted to erase years of pain with a single impulsive decision. My heart pounded. I cared about her deeply, maybe deeper than I had ever admitted to myself. But I also knew she wasn't truly herself in that moment. Instead of taking advantage of the situation, I gently stepped back and looked directly into her eyes. Then I said the only thing that felt right. I told her that if I ever kissed her, I wanted it to happen when she was sober. The words seemed to freeze time. For a second, confusion crossed her face. Then embarrassment followed. She looked away and covered her mouth, as though she suddenly realized what had happened. I assured her she had nothing to be ashamed of. That night, I helped her clean up the photographs, made sure she drank water, and stayed until I knew she was okay. Then I quietly left. The next morning, I woke up wondering if I would ever hear from her again. 3 days passed. Then my phone rang. It was Claire. Her voice sounded completely different, calm, clear, nervous. She remembered everything. I expected her to apologize and disappear from my life. Instead, she thanked me. She said that for the first time in years, someone had seen her as a human being instead of a broken widow. She told me my response had reminded her that respect still existed. Over the next few months, we began talking regularly. Nothing happened quickly. There were awkward conversations, doubts, and concerns about what people might think. We worried about Ethan. We worried about the age difference. We worried about whether our feelings were genuine or simply the result of shared loneliness. But as time passed, something beautiful happened. We discovered that beneath all those fears was a friendship built on honesty. For the first time in years, Claire started laughing again. She joined community events, reconnected with old friends, and slowly rebuilt parts of her life that grief had stolen from her. Watching her heal became one of the greatest privileges of my life. Eventually, we told Ethan. I was terrified. To my surprise, he wasn't angry. After the initial shock, he simply asked one question. Was his mother truly happy? When we answered yes, he smiled. He told me that after everything she had endured, she deserved happiness wherever she found it. That conversation lifted a weight none of us had realized we were carrying. Years later, I still think about that rainy night. Most people assume love begins with passion. Sometimes it does. But sometimes love begins with restraint. Sometimes the strongest proof of caring about someone is choosing not to take advantage of a vulnerable moment. The kiss that almost happened that night never mattered. What mattered was the respect that followed. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like the video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more emotional stories that remind us of the power of kindness and compassion. Special request: comment below with the words, "Respect creates real love." If you believe genuine relationships are built on trust, patience, and dignity. And as I look back now, I realize that the most important sentence I ever spoke wasn't a declaration of love. It was a promise that someone's worth mattered more than my desires. That promise changed both of our lives. And it taught me that the right love doesn't arrive through impulse. It arrives through respect, patience, and the courage to do what is right when nobody is watching. The night my best friend's mother tried to kiss me could have become a story of regret. Instead, it became a story of healing, second chances, and a love that began only when both hearts were finally ready.